Hey Heather, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for coming tonight. Um, it'll be great to find out what you do. A lot of times I go into these things and it's, you think with everything that goes on out there and the amount of people that we all navigate with in the healing world and the world of
Mhm.
modalities. Every time you think you've almost got it right where you know everything or almost all of the different modalities, and then there comes something else and you go, okay, there's another one I didn't know about and I'm going to learn about. So I love this because I'm having this opportunity to
Mhm.
firsthand ask questions and learn. Um, One of the reasons that I do these discussions, which I usually start off in each video, and I just kind of put it out there to everybody that there are so many people that are looking to do different things for whatever the reasons in some sort of healing aspect, whether it be mental, emotional, mind, body, spirit. People are looking for many ways to navigate things. So, in doing these, we're opening the doors to many people that do different modalities for that person that may go, oh my goodness, okay, that's what I need, because they'll be guided to it. They'll know, right? It'll click
Mhm.
and it'll be like, oh wow, okay, that's interesting. I didn't know about that. I want to check it out. So, that's kind of why I've been doing these. Is to help as many people as we possibly can in this time, because as you and most people know, that's definitely something that's badly needed everywhere. So it's kind of how I got doing all of this stuff. Is a little bit of the universal nudge, but
Mhm.
nonetheless. So this is Heather. Um, and Heather has an educational background in alternative medicine. Essentially, she took a course in color therapy about 3 years ago. And she mentioned at some point that she realized that there were changes that needed about 15 years ago, though. So maybe you can give us a little bit of guideline in terms of going back about 15 years going forward, when you got started and some of those things that came up that led you to where you are now.
Okay. So actually, when I was thinking about, I know when I first initially spoke with you, I said about 15 years ago, but when I was thinking back, I was like, oh my goodness, it's been about actually 18 years now. I just lose track of time.
The
But
first few years are always a little foggy because there's so much going
yeah,
on, right? I relate to that.
yeah. So at that point in time, 18 years ago, I was actually an outside sales rep, was my profession, my career in actually a nutraceutical. So I was a vitamin sales rep selling into the health food stores and pharmacies. I was very passionate about it due to my background in alternative medicine. Um, but there was always something deeper inside of me that I just couldn't pinpoint. It was just kind of always there, that I felt like I had a deeper purpose as well, something deeper. And so I decided to go on this retreat, and I hadn't done a retreat before, and it was actually a juicing fasting retreat. So that was my first retreat I went on.
Nice.
And I remember when I arrived, the lady that hosted the retreat, there I came out and she introduced herself, and this big, beautiful blue monarch butterfly flew around me. And she says, "Do you know what that means?" And I said, "No." She goes, "You're going to spread your wings and you're going to fly, new beginnings for you." And I was really excited about that. And so over time, I made some personal, big life changes after that retreat. During that year, I made some big, big changes personally, things that were no longer serving me that I knew that I needed to make changes on, and I was definitely guided from the universe, and I had to make really, really big changes that um, were very life changing. And so once I had accomplished that and I was on my own, um, I started really just trying to listen to my heart, and kind of got lost in the way a few times because I got frustrated not knowing my deeper inner calling, and that didn't come till 3 years ago. So that took a long time, but it was a lot of journeying, a lot of spiritual retreats that I went on. I did different things to really, really find my life purpose and my calling. But it finally came about 3 years ago. I wanted to go see a shaman, and I had really heard great things about her. Name's Deborah, and she's on Manitoulin Island. I live in Sudbury, in Northern Ontario, which
I
is
know who it is. I've trained with Deborah. In fact, I do her website.
okay.
I
Wonderful.
know
Yes.
Deborah
Yeah.
very well. She
Yeah.
all of the Redman path that I have been learning and have learned have been through Deborah. So, and I'm actually doing another course with her in February, so it continues.
Oh, wonderful. I know she's absolutely amazing. And
Yeah, I love Deb.
yeah. So,
She's
and
actually done. She actually did one of these with me as well.
oh, she did. Oh,
If you go looking through them,
I will.
you'll
I
see
will.
you'll find one there from Deb. Yeah,
Oh, okay. I'd love to watch it.
yeah, it was good,
Um,
really good.
yeah. So we first started communicating via email back and forth, and then finally we got a date set. And she did the whole, so she basically asked me, before I was going, what is like, what is it that you're looking for or you need at this moment in your life? And I said, I really, really need help in assisting to find my deeper life purpose and my path, because I said it just feels it's so longing in there, but I said I can't pinpoint it out at all. And so we did a ceremony first, and then
Hmm.
afterwards we went into her home and she did some healing and crystal therapy on me as well. And then after the session, she says, when you go home tonight, when you go to bed and you go to sleep, you're going to have the dream and you're going to find out your life purpose. So that was pretty exciting. And so after I left on my way home, because it was about a 2.5 hour drive on the island, and
Yeah,
Manitoulin Islands, it's a very magical
I've
place.
held many retreats there.
Hmm.
You know Ash. You know Ashley O'Connell?
I've heard of her. She's another healer on the island, or?
Yeah, she's moved there in the last couple of years, but she's had a retreat space, so to speak, right on the water there, and I've gone many times in the last 3 or 4 years, and held my retreats at her place.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah, no, I'd
sorry,
love to. Yeah,
sidetracking a little here, but yeah, yeah,
no,
it's
that's great. No, I
absolutely
love.
beautiful. Manitoulin
Yeah.
uh, has energies, and I have found out in the past that I am of a Ojibwe descent in a past life.
Oh,
So,
wow.
and
Okay.
on Manitoulin with the Whitefish Clan. So I know why I'm so drawn to Manitoulin.
Yes.
But anyway, sorry about that. I kind of interrupted you there. We're talking about commonalities here, which are really cool.
Oh yeah, no, no, this has been great. No, it's a great flowing conversation. No, so when I left her place and I was driving home, I saw 11 bald eagles fly over my car, like fly over me, and I was like, well, isn't that a sign? Okay, so
Oh, that's definitely a sign. You don't see that ever.
no, no, and I was just feeling like on top of the world after I saw her. I was really like, just to see the witness those 11 bald eagles fly over me was just the most magical thing in the
Beautiful.
world, magical experience.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. And so I went to bed that night, and I woke up in the morning and I'm like, color therapy. And you know what the ironic thing was is that was in my alternative medicine course years ago. We're talking back in 1996 when I took that course. One of the segments in my course was on color therapy in my alternative medicine course. So I had completely, forgotten about that over the years and not really thought too much of it until I had the dream. And then all of a sudden I got excited again and then took the color therapy practitioner course.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, it's funny how that happens because, essentially, over the years, I mean, this is the same with me. I mean, for me, the message was, I often wondered because I started many, many years ago. Well, as we all do from birth. I mean,
Hmm.
essentially, it's there, but a lot of times that we don't always get the clarity on what it is simply because we're meant to walk a path of teachings
Yeah.
before we essentially are in the place that we need to be in
Yeah.
to completely envelop and learn. the things that we need to going forward. So
Hmm.
I relate to that because I started off as essentially as a paranormal investigator,
Oh,
and then
wow.
went into Reiki and so on and so forth forward. So,
Hmm.
I understand that because that was several years ago before I really got into serving the different medicines that I serve, and now having taught with or learned um, with Deborah, of course, the
Hmm.
shaman, living as a shaman, working as a shaman, and et cetera and so on. So, but it's funny how it can take that little bit of time. It kind of creeps in, but then it's like this much time before we actually go, oh,
Hmm.
this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Oh, I get it. I
Yeah.
totally get it. I totally get it. I think a lot of us go through the same thing.
Hmm.
Same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. And I
So,
realized afterwards too, that's why it took me a while and a few years because I had a lot of healing to do. I had a lot of journey work to do. And I had a lot of times as a light worker, you do because, you've had, and colorful, I would say, childhood.
yeah, we've
And
all had I've had a lot of stuff that I had happen that it was learning, right?
yeah, yeah. So, I think that that's part of the journey is to learn and to
Oh,
heal and to learn those lessons. Don't repeat those lessons again. And if you keep on repeating them, which I did with a few things, then, it won't stop until you learn your lesson and then you
yeah.
move on, right?
Well,
And
and
grow.
that's exactly what happens. It's as I think I've mentioned before doing these discussions. It's one of those things where a friend of mine and I, we used to joke, and I used to always say, I had the rubber boot from the universe and started poking me in the butt. I said, but apparently I'm not where I'm supposed to be yet because now it's got a pointed toe that I'm getting up my butt, and it's not feeling very nice. I think I better figure this out. That's kind of how it goes, right?
Yeah. So,
So, okay, so color therapy.
mhm.
So how did you come to actually know, like, where you were going to find out and learn about this? Like, how did that all come about?
So I took the course first off was the first thing I wanted to do, just to do
Right.
a refresher specifically on color therapy. I'm even registered at the end of the month for another color therapy course. It's there's a lot to learn. There's a lot to know, and it's always good to grow in your field and
Oh, yeah.
become an expert, right? Um, so after I took the course, I was like, okay, well, so I looked up, I think I Googled like color therapy Canada or like color therapy products or something like that. And then a company out in British Columbia, Vancouver, called Color Energy, a company. So I saw that you could become a brand ambassador for the company, and I resonated with their products. First off, they specialize in chakra essences to help balance your chakras. And what's an essence? It's like a similar to a homeopathic essence where it's so diluted so much that only the frequency exists. And the essence formulation is proprietary, so it's made by an alchemist. And so what makes it special is the color, the essential oils, and the herbs, and that's all part of the alchemy process. And and so people will experience shifts in their mental and emotional and spiritual state. Some notice immediately, some maybe a day, a week, or a month later, but you will know subtle shifts as well. So I do online workshops with the chakra essences. That's my one part of the color therapy, and the other part is color bath.
Okay.
So the color bath products are wonderful too, and especially wonderful for both adults and children, but for children, it helps with ADHD, Asperger's, any kind of learning disabilities. And very, not many people know about color bath, right? Maybe a little bit more about the chakra oils and the essences, but the color bath is really a beautiful special. It's all organic. That doesn't stain your bathtub or anything like that, but it's definitely a wonderful therapeutic way of getting color in your life as well, especially in the winter when it's very gloomy here.
Yeah, definitely. I could definitely see that for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, so I find like I do have a little bit of I have a retail there's a flea market here in Sudbury, and they have vendors all in there, and I am one of the vendors, so I do that, and I do like in-person workshops there, and then I do through Eventbrite I do the color bath workshops live, so that I can actually show and demonstrate the color bath. For instance, I'll just quickly pull the green color bath, and that's the heart chakra. So this is wonderful again for children who have any hyperactivity disorders of any sort, focus, it just will help you just relax. And this bottle actually will equal to 3 baths. You can get 3 baths out of that. So it's very concentrated too.
Beautiful.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. I mean, the things that people are doing just through colors. It's funny. My first introduction was years ago through a business course to colors, and it was to signify personalities, right?
Oh.
Detailed, non-detailed, so on and so forth. There's those four main colors,
Hmm.
right? And it's interesting how how there's so many other ways of working with people to help them out, physically, emotionally, spiritually, just through colors alone. It's
Hmm.
crazy. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, and well, the new course I'm going to be taking is based on color and astrology. So I'm really excited.
Wow,
I love
that ought to be
astrology, and so that'll be another workshop. So I'll have 3 different types of workshops I'll be teaching online.
wonderful. Yeah, the astrology, I've always been interested in that and numerology, but I don't know a whole lot about it. The astrology, yeah, in and out. More so
Yeah,
about my own astrology as opposed
of course.
to
Yeah.
the vast, across the spectrum for the year,
Hmm.
and all different signs. But yeah, I've always found it very interesting. So it'd be interesting to see how once you get doing that, we'll have to do another one. You can tell us how you do the astrology and the color therapy together.
Yeah, actually, sorry, it's astrology and numerology. It's both with the color therapy. Yeah.
Okay, and it's funny. That's what was coming to me is numerology,
Yeah.
numerology, and then I came
Hmm.
out with that. So okay, so that makes sense. Okay,
Hmm. Yeah, no, it
totally.
really sparked my interest when I saw it, because I very in tune with numerology and the universe and the numbers, and so I'm big on astrology too, but numerology is very special to me, so I'm really looking forward to taking that.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I really admire. I've got a handful of friends that are very good in the either or both departments of the astrology and numerology, and
Hmm.
so much information though to get into doing that. So much memory work almost.
So much, yes, a
Learning.
lot.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Well, good luck with that. That's a lot of work. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
like I
Yeah.
said, down the road we'll have to touch base again when you're working with that and you've been working with it a little bit, and
Hmm. Hmm.
walk that path and see what that's all about too. I'd be
Yeah.
interested to see how they coordinate.
Yeah, and it's very fun and healing at the same time for people. So it makes it's fun, and then it can be very healing as well and therapeutic. So I think it's a wonderful way of getting alternative medicine modalities out to people who really who are craving that spiritual side of healing. And there's so many different modalities, and as you were saying earlier, ways to heal and learn, and because we're spiritual beings, like we're having a you know a spiritual we're humans having a spiritual experience, right? So we it would it's definitely something that part of our journeys, and yeah, and I'm amazed because I see so many neat spiritual modalities out there that I even want to try myself that I haven't had a chance to.
Long life, you got lots of time, lots of time. That's one of the things that I had to learn starting out years ago. Is that it can be very overwhelming, most
Yeah.
definitely, even
Hmm.
with the path that we walk. And it's one of those things that I had to learn was that not to get too involved in too many things at once in order to actually really take in and learn one thing at a time. Because when
Hmm.
like you said, 15, 18, 20 years ago,
Yeah.
it's one of those things where everything's so new and everything is just like, oh my God, that's so cool. Oh my God, I want to learn about this. I want
Yeah.
to learn this. I want to
Yeah.
learn. this, right? And it's like you just want to join everything because you want to know
Hmm.
it all.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you got to kind of step back and go, okay, this is the path that I'm going on. I can take that later, but right now, this is what I need to do.
Yeah. And with alternative medicine, there's so many different paths that you can take with that type of education and specialize in something. So that's when I realized many years later that that's what I was going to do, is specialize in color therapy. Hmm.
Yeah, it's always interesting how we just kind of know, the higher self kind of kicks in and goes, yeah, yeah, that's it. Keep going, doing what you're doing.
Hmm. Yep.
Yeah, you feel it in your gut and you just know that's the right thing, right?
Yeah.
Um, so, how have you implemented the colors and this type of stuff into your life?
Oh, how do I do it on an everyday basis?
Oh, how did the colors? Yeah,
Yeah.
however, that's what I'm just curious to know with how you implement it all in your life.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So I'll grab so these are the chakra essences. So I use the essences daily. Now I'm in tune enough to know which I need every day. So right now I know I need the blue, the calming. I need the blue chakra, which is connected to the throat chakra.
Yep.
So I've been using a lot of blues right now. If I Last week I had some extra orange color bath in my bathroom, and I thought, oh, I'll just use the leftover orange. Big mistake, because my whole aura is orange. I'm very like it was too stimulating. And I was like, well, that was a mistake. I should have stuck with blue. So
Lesson learned, right?
yeah.
So can people buy these themselves? Is this like, and if they do, like, how do they know what they need to use if they're not connected in the way that
Hmm.
that we are in terms of the sensing, feeling, even when you're empathic? Sometimes it's not always easy for people that don't do the different types of things that all of us do to
Hmm.
really tap in there and go, okay, I know this is what I need out of the seven chakras. This is what I need. This is what I need. This is what I need. How would they go about that if they were to purchase the actual products themselves? Is that, and I'm assuming that is available to do so.
Yes. So I do have a website. Um, and so if, but I, first off though, I have a questionnaire. So they can, so the, if anyone's interested, they can just email me directly, and I'll send them the questionnaire so that I can gauge and help them see where they need to start. A lot of the times with most people, especially if they're unfamiliar or they feel out of sorts, 80% of the time, unless they've done quite a bit of journey work and healing within themselves, it's definitely going to be red, the root chakra in a lot of cases. A lot of people are not grounded.
Oh, there goes the root. Yep.
Yeah. But again, you might need red and you might need orange. Like, it just really depends. Like, generally try to start off with the person with one at a time, though. Unless someone's been done a lot of journey work and they're very enlightened, then a lot of times they can have two or three going on at the same time in terms of the chakra oils. But generally, when you're first starting out, I'm going to recommend like, after they answer all the questions, I'm going to know, and I'm going to be able to provide where they need to start, and I do a whole write up for them and everything.
Oh, beautiful. So okay, so let's just say somebody purchased them. They got the color they needed, and then they're utilizing them in the manner that is needed. Um, what would they expect? What do they expect? So let's just say, let's say they got the red. They were
Okay.
going for the root.
Yeah.
Um, and they got that and they were using it. Is there kind of I hate to say expectation, because that's something I tell all clients: never have an expectation, because
Yeah.
9 out of 10 times it's not going to be what you expect. It's
Mhm.
going to be something different. But in terms of what are the possibilities of what they may see or feel, or what changes might they sense, going forward after doing some of these treatments themselves?
Yeah. Well, for example, with the root chakra, They're gonna, like I said, it's subtle. It can be subtle for some people. It can be really noticeable right from the start of taking them. So it just depends on the person's body chemistry. But they're gonna feel an urge to go out in nature more, get grounded in nature. It can be any type of outdoor activities. Like I'm just thinking right now in the winter time, it can be anything from skating to just getting out in the forest therapy,
Right.
hugging a tree. But you're just going to be craving that because you're not getting enough of that for the grounding in your life. So
Cool.
that would, yeah. So that would definitely be something that someone would notice when I started doing that, because I was actually not grounded. My root chakra was out of whack big time, and I was not spending enough time in nature. Once I started taking the chakra essences, I noticed a huge difference on my craving and my need to, even if you can just set aside an hour every day, if you can't do an hour, half an hour, just to get out in nature, breathing the air, going into the forest.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, that's something that I think is uh, widespread, even before a lot of the spirituality became a more acceptable, type of thing
Mhm.
going on out there. I think that's something that's always, 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 even even subliminally, parents with their kids. And I mean, growing up, I mean, I was a kid in the 70s, 60s, I was in high school in the 70s. So, I mean, for me to get out there and um, go outside, I mean, that's what we did.
Yes.
That's all we did. There
Yep.
was no technology,
Yeah,
right?
I was a 70s baby. That's all we did when we were in our youth.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. I mean, it was all about being outside and having fun. And in the summer, you riding your bike and swimming and going to neighbors and hanging out in the backyard or going to cottages, boating, swimming, whatever.
yeah.
Right. So it was something that was abundant,
Yes.
you
Yeah.
know. And then as we've gotten older, TVs became a big thing and so on and so forth and graduated into what we have now.
Yeah.
Part of me loves it, but the other part of me absolutely hates it. So
I
it's a
know.
love
I
hate
know.
relationship. I have no doubt about that.
So what will happen is a person will feel more balanced, will start feeling more balanced, um, because for many of us we're out of balance, and our chakras are out of balance because of that, because we're not grounded enough and we're not going out in nature enough.
Yeah, I find a big one. Root chakra is a big one, but the other one I find is I find throat is a big
Yeah,
one. People don't
that's
speak the truth. They tend to stuff things down, and not
yes,
speak. And then, of course, the heart chakra
and
is
the
another
heart
one with
chakra.
the
Yeah.
clients that I work with in different ways, obviously. But
Hmm.
those are three of the real doozies. They all come into play at some point, but I
Hmm.
find those are the ones that seem to be repetitive in terms of
Hmm.
client to client. So
Hmm.
you
I know
find,
that when I started, uh, when I was taking the color therapy course, and then I ordered the products and I was using the green chakra essence, a lot came up for me. I started crying a lot, and it was very healing though in therapy, but things came up that I needed to heal and address, and I was able to see what I needed, and the heart, my heart chakra was definitely, you know, in need of a lot of healing still that
of the
I hadn't
release.
realized until it came up. So the essences will gently bring up things as well that we need to work on, and but in a gentle way, in a gentle way.
Well, it's beautiful because that's one of the biggest things that people need to do with all of these situations and whatnot. A big thing is to release,
Yeah.
release
Yes.
and open up and be clear, right? Be
Yeah.
free of whatever it is that's hindering, right? So
Yeah.
that's
So they do.
amazing.
So the essence are wonderful in that sense is it will bring up and it will make it clear for you. And so, so that's what's very wonderful and powerful about the essences. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, it sounds like they sound really good. It's
Hmm.
really awesome. Um, Now, one of the other things that you had spoken about, or actually, let's go back to one thing. If there
Hmm.
was an aha moment in the course of time that you've been doing with this, with the color therapy,
Hmm.
whether it be with you or with a client or something you've seen, something throughout the course of what you're doing, is there anything you can think of that's an aha moment where you kind of went, well, that was really cool how that happened, or
Well, I have a very close friend, and she has dyslexia, And I have the color therapy glasses too that that actually I'll wear them actually in the online color bath workshop, so just to make it even more fun. And um, but I gave her a pair of the glasses, and she was amazed by how much she was able to focus and concentrate. So that was a kind of a big aha moment for me, because
Nice.
yeah, and she had severe migraine headaches too, and the turquoise and the blue glasses helped her as well with her migraine. So that was really neat to witness and experience. And I realized how powerful color therapy is in healing certain conditions like that.
Beautiful. It's funny. I was almost snickering because I could see when you say your online your bath color therapy. I could see all these people online in their baths.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, my color
Everybody hanging
therapy.
out in their baths doing their
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's funny. I'll wear the color therapy glasses even when I'm just going down to the park in the summer on a walk, and people are always like, "Oh, those are cool. What is?" And I get lots of questions for sure.
Oh, that's awesome. It's one way of drawing some attention. And something, the people that are drawn to you are going to be the ones that really need to,
Hmm.
I always say there's no such thing as a coincidence. There really isn't.
Yeah,
Things
yeah.
always happen for a reason. And people always, oh, it's a coincidence. No, it's not. It's not a coincidence.
No, no. I'm a big believer in quantum physics, and um, the
Yeah.
universe has already set out our life path before we even know. We just got to
Well,
figure it out.
we actually are the ones that set it out. We're the ones that decide before we come what we're going to do. I,
Yes.
as I've
But
said before, when I'm working on doing these things, I always kind of snicker because, again, my friend and I, we used to joke because we've had some pretty tough times off and on through our lives,
mhm.
and I always question, was I drunk when I signed that contract to come forward? I
Yeah,
really ask to live this life like
I
this?
know.
What was wrong with me?
Yeah, yeah. So it's just a matter
Anyway.
of us, um, you know, going through our journey work and our healing work, and then finally we get to that point where we know our higher purpose in this world and our mission, and we just got to work on ourselves to get there, so that that we can do that.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. Now you sent me another project that you're actually working on called Masterpiece.
Hmm. Hmm.
So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, for sure. So I thought after I finished color therapy and I said, okay, I know my calling, I know my purpose, I'm good. Yeah, I'm gonna be, do color therapy and all that. And I was all excited. And then, what was it? 4 months ago, um, the universe just happened to put in my lap. Uh, well, I was actually listening to a podcast with the gentleman. He's the CEO and founder of Masterpiece, named Matt Hayes, and he's out of Kansas. And he was actually on a Canadian podcast. And I happened to be washing the dishes, but I was listening. My husband was listening, and he says, "Come here, you gotta listen. Come here, you." And I was like, listening to him about his new nutraceutical product and a need for healing humanity through detoxification on a cellular level that no one had figured out yet. And I was like, 'cause as a vitamin rep, I was like, oh my gosh, I knew exactly what he had done. And I ordered his product straight away. And then a week later, I had joined his Facebook group. And then I had mentioned in a conversation, I can't remember exactly what I said, but that I was a color practitioner. And he messaged me straight away. He said, call me, call me. It's like, okay. And then that led to, and then he, through a conversation, he found out I had a sales background as well as a vitamin rep over the years. And he said, I said, you know what? I just felt in my heart that I needed to help you with this mission, because it's so beautiful, and it's so in needed because of the level of consciousness now on the planet that is such at a low, like it's getting better, but it's still low in many aspects. And his product
We're all
is,
working on it as a
yeah,
team.
we're working on it. His product is to help through the removal of these forever chemicals, our consciousness through the David Hawkins map of human consciousness can start elevating, to the highest levels of peace, love, and enlightenment. And so I've been using it for about 4 months now, and I'm just absolutely just blown away. And just to see the testimonials that are coming in, and I'm working on getting naturopathic doctors on board. So I thought, oh yeah, I have it all planned. The universe has let me know what I'm going to be doing, color therapy and helping heal the world through color. And then all of a sudden, oh, I'm going back to nutraceutical sales and helping the world heal internally as well through in their health and well-being. So I was like, well, now I feel perfectly full 360 in my
Like I said, there are no coincidences, right? It all just kind of comes. It
yeah,
is what it is.
yeah,
it doesn't begin and end,
yeah.
where we
But I
think
said,
it's
okay,
going to.
university, I think I'm good now. This is a lot. Okay.
Oh, don't think that'll be the end. It never is.
Oh, I know.
Might
I
be.
know.
I'm saying it's not, but yeah, it keeps coming.
Yeah.
Trust me on that one.
Yeah.
Um,
And like what you mentioned earlier with the courses, me taking I thought the color astrology course, and I'm just like, okay, well, I guess I'm just going to keep on taking things and just keep on going. So,
it never ends to the day
yeah.
we die. Never stop learning, right?
Yeah.
There's always stuff that we need to go forward with. There's always more teachings. There's always more learnings. I mean, I was in the same boat with all the different medicines I've been trained, the shamanic work, energy work. There's been all kinds of things. Hypnotherapy. I do a whole bunch. Like I've got a
Yeah.
fairly large healing toolbox, but
Hmm.
just when I thought that was done, then now I'm taking courses. I'm taking my master's at the University of Metaphysics in Sedona, Arizona.
Oh, wow.
So just when you think, and then that it's like, boom, here's something else for you. It's like, what?
Hmm. I know.
So here I am. So now I'm doing that, and I may go further and take the doctorates. But again, that I never in a million years would have thought I'd be doing that. Well, there it is, right?
Yeah. So
So
the
now I'm doing
universe
that too.
always has, yeah, there's always surprises, and it's fun and it's exciting, and it's a beautiful time right now in humanity with, the age of Aquarius and the awakening of of the world. So it's a wonderful mission to be on, and to assist and help humanity for sure.
Oh yeah, I agree 100%. We're all here in this time for a reason. It's just a matter of fulfilling our goals and destinies,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Is there anything else you can think of that you wanted to get out there?
Uh hmm. Just I have my two websites. They're separate. I keep Masterpiece separate from my color therapy, but if anyone is interested in learning about Masterpiece as well, um, it's a marine plasma, so it's not only just a cellular detox. It's actually has 98 of the 100 minerals our body needs. Um, and so it's a beautiful product. It's kind of addressing two things. It's addressing our bodies nutritionally, and also addressing it in a detoxification cellular way as well. And he also energetically put frequencies in this product as well, because you know a lot of times the vitamins we buy at the health food store, they're, as he said, are made in a cold facility. Well, you know, it makes you kind of question things. Well, it does for me now, because now that I've been taking Masterpiece, I'm just absolutely amazed by um, how more intuitive I've become, and just how things are syncing so much with the universe. I just feel like I'm just on top of the world. So it's a beautiful product.
Geez, maybe you should hook me up. I'll get him on this too. That'd be really interesting. I'm
Yeah,
curious to see what's going on.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
So okay, so um, yeah, I don't know that I have a lot more in terms of questions. Um, now you did mention there is something. I think when we talked about it, you said there is something you would offer to people to see the video that are watching.
Hmm.
for those that are
Oh, yes.
participating.
Hmm.
What
Hmm.
what does that look like?
So, yeah, so if they want to reach out to me via email, in the questionnaire, I actually do offer, and I send it in the mail, just show a little sample of one, but I have these little mini essences, um, so that, if someone would just like to try one first, I do have the
Mhm.
little mini sample essences, and I have a little mini educational chakra card too. So this is wonderful because it shows all the chakras, what organs are affected, um, where you might be deficient in. It's going to let you know everything here and on the
Oh,
other side.
good.
Yeah. So I mail that out as well, with the essence that I feel that a person could use. And if they do decide that they want to move forward, then they can purchase the spray or the roll on my website there.
Awesome. So they just have to reach out to you. I do have the links for you, the two separate links, one for the color therapy and one for the masterpiece.
Yep.
Um, so maybe include your email
Okay.
as well, so they can do that. And I know they can get it through their website, but just open the doors all the way around. I think is a good idea.
Yeah, no, I don't mind people emailing me at all with any kind of questions they have, whether it be through color therapy or through a masterpiece. I'm actually with Matt Hayes, and I when I partnered up with him, I'm actually the promotional representative for the company too. So I do get a lot of inquiries and answer a lot of questions, actually internationally. So it's really really fun.
Yeah, it's like doing this. It is really fun because I've had a few interviews with I don't interviews, not really an interview. It's just this discussion about different modalities, really. But I've had one with Claire out of the Britain, and I've had with Beverly. That was out of South Africa. Well, not
Oh,
South Africa. I forget. It's Africa, but not South Africa. She corrected me on that, and I've forgotten now. But in it's like in the Congo or something, if I remember correctly. I'm not
okay.
totally familiar, but yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, no, it's
So it is
wonderful.
it is really cool when you're reaching out across
Hmm.
waters.
Yeah.
It is a really kind of cool experience. It's beautiful. It's so nice. I connected with both of them very well. So it's really enjoyable. So enjoy that for sure.
Hmm. Hmm.
For
Well, I just
sure.
wanted to say thank you so much for having me on. This was a wonderful conversation, and it was wonderful. And yeah, thank you so much for having me on your show.
Oh well, thank you for coming. As I said, I love to try and connect people. However that looks with the different modalities, because
Hmm.
what may not resonate with one person, it's that other person that's been looking for something, and all of a sudden, again, that aha, oh my God, that really resonates with me. So, it's beautiful. Thank you for being here and honoring me with your presence in
Oh,
order to do so.
yes,
Um,
thank you.
it's awesome. And like I said, as you get going on these other things, reach out to me. You know,
Okay, I will definitely stay in touch.
oh yeah, as newer things are going, oh yeah, I like to learn as much as, even if nobody else does, I do. Everybody does though, and people
Yeah.
watch it as well. We get quite a few actually watching after the fact. So
Oh, okay, great.
uh, yeah, so it's pretty good that way too.
Hmm.
Um, but yes, to everybody watching, step out and reach out to anybody that's resonating with what Heather's been talking about. I think it'd be really interesting. And some of you know about chakras, some may not. There's a good start. Like she's got the
Hmm.
introduction with the
Yeah.
colors and explaining them and what they are. Um, yeah, there's a lot to be learned, and lots of ways that we can learn that sometimes the allopathic medicine, as much as we need the allopathic medicine, it's overused, in my opinion.
Hmm.
I will say that in my opinion. I know it's of several opinions, but
Yeah.
it's definitely not always helping people. There are a lot of people out there. I know with clients I've had, there are a lot of people there that are in a situation where they've been to the doctor several times, and they've had tests on tests on tests and blood work and ultrasounds, et cetera, and so on. And oh, no, no, I can't find any. I can't find anything. And then they start going to you, or they go to me, or they start going to all these different, more natural healing ways of doing things.
Hmm.
And things change. And I've seen it in my own, before me in my own eyes, with a couple of clients that were really finding it challenging going to the doctor, and
Hmm.
stepped outside of that, and yeah, had some aha moments themselves. So
Yeah.
if anybody wants to know more about what Heather's doing, do you have a Facebook page as well, Heather?
Well, for Masterpiece, I would send people to the Facebook Masterpiece group because
Yeah.
that's the best way for
Okay.
them to learn and get educated on, and with the testimonials and the naturopathic doctors who are his team, in the clinical studies that just recently came out as well, to actually show the levels of forever chemicals that are coming out of people's bodies, which is absolutely amazing, never been done before. So yeah, I would just forward them over to the group so that they can learn more about Masterpiece. And then for my face, I do have a Facebook page for my color therapy as well, and Instagram.
So yeah,
Um,
I haven't got those links. So if you want to shoot those over to me,
oh, okay. Yeah.
as soon as possible, and I'll get those up with the video as well. So people have, certain people like to just go to Instagram, or
Hmm.
there's certain ways that people are really focused on with social media. So
Yeah.
I try to get all of that information. So if you can make sure you send me all those, I'll make sure they're up with the video. So
Okay.
anybody that's looking, you'll have several ways to reach out to Heather.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, check it out. Most definitely.
Great.
And again, I thank you as well. It's
Thank
been
you.
fun, and I look forward to hearing about the new stuff you're going to be learning with
Yeah.
the astrology and numerology. Maybe I'll have to get you to do a session with me. We'll have to
Oh,
check that.
definitely. Yeah.
So, well, thank you so much, and yeah, it's been a great conversation, and we shall be in touch.
Yes, definitely. Okay. Have a great night.
You too. Stay warm in this weather. We
Okay.
don't have it where we do, but we're getting dumped on. So us
Hopefully it's
for a
not heading
change,
our
not
way,
you.
but it could be.
Gee, it's us this time and not you for a change, right?
Yeah.
So have a great night, hon. We'll talk to you again.
Okay. Take care. Bye.